Inspired Conversations, episode 11. Today's question is, how do we live from our heart when our brain is so fearful of losing control? Okay, so today we're talking about the brain and how it gets stuck in, we have this inherent fear that we are naturally operating from a part of our brain. There's two sides of our brain. One part is operating out of the fear and out of conditioning from our family environment, whereas another part of our brain is more connected and open to our heart and the energy of the universe.
But when you look back in time, the fear side of us has been a way of survival, because way back in the day, you needed to keep your eye out, because the stronger you were or the more you looked out from that perspective, the less likely you were to be killed, kind of thing. And that's kind of how it was back then, a long time ago with tribes, and you always have to be on the lookout, protect your family. So our brain is wired from then to live that way, to always look for negativity out of a way to protect yourself.
But it's so strong that it still plays itself out in many, many cultures and places in the world today. So it's still very current. So, but then there's another part of us which knows that things don't work from that place. Yeah. I really loved the thought from the universe today from Mike Dooley, how it talks about the more we try and manipulate a difficult situation or change things, the more you increase the struggle. Your energy is fueling the energy of the struggle. But
it's that pattern going round and round. You can't get out. You cannot change your way of being if you continue to struggle and to continue to play and control, and it's all head stuff. It's like,
and the head
trying to figure it out logically and
all coming from fear. The head stuff is coming from fear. If I don't do this, I'm so afraid that things are going to do this. So you try and manipulate and force the situation to change the situation through sheer force and through sheer fear in the back of your head, or from sheer conditioning. That's just been, that's how you are. Whereas the beautiful thing of what Mike Dooley was saying is just, all you need to do is have a little bit of introspective or awareness. And just when you put a little drop of awareness into any struggle, it opens up a path for new thought. And I mean, again, as John Assaraf was talking about in his video as well this morning, it opens up that other part of your brain. It opens up more pathways for more possibilities. And, the more I learn, the more I read and listen to this information, the more I understand that the universe is a universe of infinite possibilities, not one of limitation. And yet we live in a world of limitation. We are constantly limiting ourselves purely in our own head, in our own thoughts and beliefs and our own actions. So it's training ourselves to open up to...
Well, you have to train yourself, and that's the thing. I liked what he was saying, because he gave a little hack. It's like, the problem is with the mind, it just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and we're very unaware of what is actually our thoughts are thinking. They're just running, and until you actually, his little hack was write down all the, think of your big dream, your big goal, write down all the reasons why you cannot get there, the things you've tried, all those, I guess, those negative beliefs, just write them down on another bit of paper, then write down all the things you need to do to make that come true. And if you don't know how to do it, then ask someone or Google it, or, it's not a matter of knowing how it will happen. It's just, what do I need to do, and trust that the hows will come. So it's that training, because the brain starts off with this survival, you need to train your brain to get out of what he calls the Frankenstein brain and into the Einstein brain. But that comes through training, and eventually that will just be natural. You don't need to do that, but it's just, it comes with what you were saying, awareness and introspection, and that's the only way. It's just by writing things down, you're actually becoming aware of what's going on in your brain. Because if you don't, it just runs rampant. And really, it's so interesting sometimes when you do start to become aware of the brain, what's actually going on. You go, God, I can't believe I was thinking that. It's just, wow, that's limiting. Or wow, just get it down.
But the reality of it is there. I mean, I was thinking, okay, we need to find a new house. And I'm thinking, what are all the things stopping, us from finding a new house? And for me, there are negative thoughts in my head. When you actually start to tune into the awareness of, well, what are you really thinking underneath the everyday? And for me, it's going to take time. So that's negative. It's going to cost money. There's going to be the expense of it. It's going to be hard work, packing everything up and shifting everything. And there's lots of things to consider in terms of pleasing everybody, the kids and us and, the dogs, and can we find something? So I'm thinking, wow, all of that. But the reality of that is that all feels like really hard stuff. And yet, when you think about it from a positive point of view, you go, well, what's going to help you achieve those things? And it's like, well, we're going to find a really helpful agent. We're going to get really clear on what we're actually looking for. And just by getting clear on what we're looking for will help us energetically find what we're looking for. There's websites that we can jump onto and search, and which will take a lot of the legwork out. There's companies there who can help move. And the reality of it is it will actually, but for me, it was just having that real experience of something so simple. It seems fairly simple, and I've moved house many times. So to go from a simple application, we do have negative thoughts. So it is so important just to take stock and have that awareness of what those thoughts are. And I love what Maston Kipp was talking about in terms of courage. Sometimes it's just about having that courage. And I love how he describes the word courage coming from the French word core. It comes from our core. So it's utilizing the wisdom of our heart from our core and taking action on it. What a beautiful definition for courage. I love that.
Yeah, and I love that he said, when you flow, your heart requires courage. Then he said, but courage scares the brain, because courage, when you're stepping out into the unknown. That's the huge difference between the brain and the heart, because the brain can't function that way. It's like, but you can't do, you haven't thought about this. And it's just it's so opposite to stepping into the unknown, to having that inner guidance and going, no, it's going to work out. I trust this process because I feel it so strongly, and getting in that place and being aware of when the brain starts to go, but hang on, logic and da-da-da. It's, it's a beautiful place when you can begin to trust your heart.
Love that.